Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I think it is the brand. I guess I don't know. I have so many CO2s. I guess I wasn't paying attention to the brand, and it's working perfectly now with no problem. So it's always been so reliable. This was my first hiccup with the air, but one thing I did realize, I had my. I don't think it should make a difference. I had my TCR turned upside down, like it was face down. Not face down, but the rails down, and I just shot with two specifically burner TCRs, and it was perfect back to back. So I just really think it was just the I probably did not pay attention to the brand because it was a Crossman, or it was a Umrex CO2, which I use for my other less lethal, which has never been a problem. I've only used burner CO2s with burner products, but maybe I wasn't paying attention when I put it in there the prior week. But that's kind of scary that bumped in the night, I'm sitting here getting my CO2, my burning TCR hands, and then I puncture it, and then I start hearing air as I'm facing a target or facing a problem. I love less lethal, and I'm a big believer of less lethal, but I am more convinced than ever that less lethal can be very finicky and not reliable at 100%. No weapon is 100% reliable, not even with a real gun. But I promise you, I trust my TCR. I trust my Taurus G2C 9mm I'm looking at this car like I'm giving you permission to get over, with no problems. I don't even doubt. And then you really got to really pay attention to your weapons and make sure. Now, I think also I'll be the first one to say it. I just usually oil my CO2, and then I put a little bit of lube oil in, and that's it. I haven't done any major like cleaning the barrel or none of that stuff, or how people can take it apart and do all that. I don't do that. I will send it to somebody and let them do it. But I'm like, okay, maybe let me just take a quick little brush and my gun oiler kit, and just do a quick little rub a dub right there, and kind of go from there. So yeah, I'll just do that, and I just do that. So it's just probably just a freak accident, but I when you're in this less lethal community, you really gotta depend on it. Does it work when I need it? I need it to work 100% without a doubt, with no problems. It has to work with no problems, no hiccup, no, and to, depend on something, it's a little scary. It's a little scary because you may have a false confidence. You're pulling your weapon out, and then I just make an assumption if CO2, less lethal, that I'm about to use it. If I have it on my side and I'm telling a person, hey, I need you to calm down, and they don't, I'm just going to go ahead and use it unless I know there's cameras saying I'm going to be different. But if I feel threatened and they still feeling froggy, I'm going to puncture it, and then I'm going to shoot a warning shot. That is what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to play with that. Because I'm dependent on this stuff, and then my actual gun is my backup to that because I don't want to use a actual gun on any person. And the simple fact that for the most person, you bring your gun, you shoot one, fire one, that usually kind of kills that. I get that. You could do that. But with the human emotions and anger and your lack of control, a lot of people get killed by accident. I don't mean to. I didn't mean to do that. Next you know, they're in prison or they're facing prosecution. I feel much better legally using my less lethal than going to my actual gun, but I'm dependent on my less lethal to work. That's the whole purpose. So it just brings another question is, do you trust your less lethal to really take care of you when you really need it? I can trust my salt supply, I can trust my SD, but like with any weapon, you have to service and clean it. So the lesson for me today is maybe it's time to take things apart, even for my less lethal, outside just some CO2, and just really just kind of break it down and kind of clean it. No weapon is going to be 100%. Let's just be honest. No weapon is going to be 100%, except that no weapon that's formed against you shall prosper. But you want it to be reliable. You want it to be reliable. You want it to work when you need it to work. So that's a good lesson. That's a good lesson for me. And usually all I do for my burn TCR, before I even puncture it, I open it up, look at the CO2. Oh, it's not punctured, put it in, and it just works like laser. But when I think the one I had, I did it from the week prior or 2 weeks prior, then I put my other two, I put two, boom, boom. And my thing is I get obsessed when things are not working. So I was like, okay, and I put that message out earlier. And then I got a very nice person, I think I know who you are, told me just, it's just, it could be the seal. So I'm like, okay, what? Because I'm thinking O-ring, I'm like, if it's O-ring, I just go, Amazon and just go ahead, buy it, that type of thing. But I was like, okay, let me see what is going on, and kind of take it from there. So the lesson, boys and girls, is nothing is foolproof. Just service your weapons, even your less lethal, and go from there, and you should be all good. So, all right, guys, have a good one.